is CBS News Miami.
Good afternoon and thank you for joining us. I'm Lauren Pastrana and welcome to CBS News Miami's 4 p.m. Quickcast. Let's take a look at today's top story. Right now, we begin with breaking news. Ex-Proud Boys leader Enrique Tarrio is officially back home here in Miami. Here he is just moments ago arriving at Miami International Airport. He was greeted by his mother and other family and friends and quickly rushed into a waiting SUV. Tarrio was convicted on felony charges of seditious conspiracy for his role in the January 6th Capitol riot. He faced a 22-year prison sentence but was pardoned by President Trump on his first day in office. Here's what Tarrio had to say before taking off from the airport in Dallas.
You got anything to say, brother?
Happy to be out. Thank you, President Trump. Appreciate it. I don't got too much to say.
We'll have more on Tarrio's return to South Florida later in a live report on CBS News Miami at 5. Be sure to stay with us on air and online for the latest developments. Intense and rare winter weather sweeping across the South, even bringing snow here to Florida. Houston has gotten the most snow in decades for that area and the most in more than a century in New Orleans. At least 4 people have died. CBS News Miami's Skylar Henry is in Tallahassee with more.
A winter wonderland on the beaches of North Florida. Snow-blanketed sand in Panama City as a winter storm swept along the Gulf Coast. In Pensacola, more than 7.5 inches of snow Tuesday shattered the previous record set in 1895.
It was not another car or truck on the interstate, it was scary. It was freaky.
The winter weather forced officials to shut down a 65-mile-long stretch of Interstate 10 in the Florida Panhandle. The storm started in Texas early Tuesday, with the Houston region getting buried by a historic 3 to 5 inches of snow, which closed highways and emptied city streets, as CBS's Janet Shamlian saw.
This is the middle of the street in downtown Houston right now. Normally it would be packed with traffic, but this is an historic amount of snow for this city, and Houston is virtually shut down.
This is absolutely crazy.
8 inches in the New Orleans area Tuesday was 3 times the city's previous snowfall record. Katie Weiss is there.
An historic weather event here in the Big Easy, the most snowfall the Big Easy has ever seen in its history. So much, look, it's up to my ankles. It's a lot of snow. And so that's why the city has hired 14 snowplows from an Indiana-based company to drive down here and plow these roads.
Even with closed streets and crews clearing the roads that are open, many drivers ended up stuck in snowbanks. In Alabama, Mobile's 7.5 inches broke the all-time snowfall record. In nearby Gulf Shores, flurries covered this beach.
There's just no words to describe it. Snow on the beach, who would have thought?
And crews are still working to clear out to our east, the I-10 West corridor that was closed, a significant portion of it, about 65 miles or so, because of the wintry weather. There is still a state of emergency in effect for many parts of North Florida as this region looks to dig out from the snow. Skylar Henry, CBS News, Tallahassee, Florida.
And as Skylar mentioned, the snowstorm also slamming the coast along the Florida Panhandle. The freezing temperatures making roads icy and really dangerous for drivers. Officials urging everyone to stay off the road until the ice and snow melt. CBS News Miami Shane Hinton is live in Panama City. Look for his report on CBS News Miami at 5.
Always alerting, always tracking. This is Next Weather.
Cloudy, rainy, overcast, and breezy out there as well. Next Weather Chief Meteorologist Ivan Cabrera joins us now. We want to know, when will the sun be back?
This is your fault.
I brought it with
me.
me.
DC all the way down.
Sorry.
My goodness.
There was sunshine in DC.
Absolutely.
This is not what I saw.
Covering the big event up there, and then the big event turned out to be North Florida. Let's check in on current conditions, Lauren. Yeah, it's cloudy, overcast. I mean, this is like Seattle weather here, and the temperatures have just been stuck here in the 50s all day. We talked about cold rain yesterday, and has it verified incredibly here with just one of those those days you don't forget in the winter. In fact, it's maybe probably the coldest day. Otherwise, we'd be in a lot of trouble with highs of the 40s, right? So 50s, that's all we're going to manage, and it's more clouds than rainfall at this point here, but still just a clammy day, and we are done with it. On to Thursday as we check in on next weather radar. This is just some very light drizzle right now, not impacting most of us here. And for the rest of tonight, I'm just expecting a slight chance of another shower or two, but that would be about it. And steady as she goes as far as the temps. We're stuck in the upper 50s. That's the way we're going to wake up as we head through tomorrow as well. We're going to do another cloudy day. I think tomorrow, though, the difference will be the rain chances will be up high. So in the morning and then diminishing coverage through the afternoon. I'm expecting a few breaks by tomorrow, so it's not going to be a completely closed sky like it was today. So we're on our way to doing a lot better. The weekend still looks fantastic. The only issue is we're going to have to bundle up, but I'd rather bundle up with sunshine than clouds and a drizzle, right? That's where we're headed. Now, this is Thursday, 3 a.m., so in the morning, for the very early morning commute between 4 and 5, 6 a.m., you're going to have to deal with some wet roads. Lisette will be here guiding you through that, and then we'll see those breaks by the time we get into lunchtime. I think pickup looks good, and the rest of us coming out of work, it's not going to be the prettiest day, but it will be less wet than it was certainly today. And then finally, we get into full sunshine, scattered clouds. That would be about it on Friday. That's a nice kickoff to what will be, though, a pretty chilly weekend as far as the morning temperatures. You'll see that in the next weather 7-day. 50s for tonight. We're not going anywhere. And then tomorrow, we'll do a little bit better with upper 60s, but that fluctuation continues. So we're back down to temperatures in the low 60s for Friday afternoon. We wake up already chilly. That northwest wind at 10 to 15, that's going to make it feel like it's in the mid 40s. So prepare to bundle up, and it will be just, easier to warm up with the dry air. 62 in the afternoon, then 70s for Saturday. But before we hit that fantastic 71 degrees with full sunshine, we wake up with temperatures right around 48. There will be wind, and so I think some wind chills will be in the upper 30s to lower 40s. That's the coldest we're going to get, and that's going to be for Saturday morning. So if you have outdoor plans like I do, perhaps, just get yourself a little bit more time and do them in the afternoon if you don't like that kind of cold. 60 degrees, already switching off the cold with that onshore wind out of the east. We're in the mid 70s for Sunday, and then it's upper 70s and smooth sailing for next week with a lot of sunshine and warm temperatures.
Ivan, thank you. Now at 4, the man accused of murdering a child in Florida City 2 months ago faced a judge this morning. Montreal Jackson is charged with second-degree murder. The judge denying him bond, and he will remain in jail. Police say 9-year-old Antavius Scott was shot while playing football with friends on West Lucy Street back in November when they believe he was struck by a stray bullet. He died at the hospital. Right now, we're working to learn more about a 19-year-old injured in a shooting in Miami. Police say they responded to an apartment in the corner of Northwest 60th Street and 13th Avenue just after 8 last night. That's when officers found the victim. He was taken to the hospital and is stable. Miami police say they do not have the shooter in custody at this time. If you have any information, you're asked to call police. President Donald Trump is moving quickly to end diversity, equity, and inclusion programs in the federal government. CBS News has learned his administration has canceled all refugee travel to the United States until further notice. CBS News Miami's Natalie Brand has the latest from Washington, D.C.
In a new memo obtained by CBS News, the Trump administration has instructed federal agencies to cancel any diversity, equity, and inclusion programs and close DEI offices. By 5 o'clock today, all employees working in those roles are to be notified that they will be placed on paid leave as the administration seeks to shut down DEI programs.
Our country is going to be based on merit again. Can you believe it?
The administration says targeted immigration enforcement operations are also underway nationwide, though President Trump's border czar, Tom Homan, didn't give specifics.
ICE is doing their job, and they're prioritizing just as the president said they would. So the ICE is performing excellent right now out in the field, and they're going to continue every day.
As part of new tougher measures, the administration has revoked a Biden-era policy prohibiting ICE agents from making arrests at sensitive locations like schools or churches.
We understand that people are scared. We understand that people are frightened because Donald Trump, with the support of House Republicans, have now said this is within bounds.
And CBS News has learned the State Department has canceled all refugee travel to the U.S. until further notice. For now, this does not affect special immigrant visa holders who assisted U.S. military forces. The group Global Refuge calls the change devastating. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Washington.
When we come back, Netflix fans, listen up. The streaming giant is making another change, what you'll now have to do to watch your favorite shows and movies. Welcome back to CBS News Miami's 4 p.m. Quickcast. Britain's Prince Harry settled a long-running libel suit against British tabloids owned by Rupert Murdoch, who also owns Fox News and newspapers in the U.S. His company admitted the way it pursued scoops about Harry and his mother, Princess Diana, was wrong. CBS News Miami's Imtiaz Tayeb is in London with more.
Well, in a stunning turn of events, instead of a weeks-long court battle between Prince Harry and Rupert Murdoch's group of newspaper, we now have a settlement and two explosive statements. One from the Murdoch-owned company, which offered Harry a full and unequivocal apology for hacking his cell phone and intruding into his personal life for articles published between 1996 and 2011, acknowledging unlawful conduct by private investigators. There was also an apology for past intrusions into Harry's mother, Princess Diana's private life as well. Now, this is the first time Murdoch's news group has admitted wrongdoing involving any of his papers in a legal battle that's lasted decades and has cost the group over $1 billion in payouts. Now, Harry's called the settlement a monumental victory, saying the papers had finally been held to account for, quote, blatant disregard for the law. Now, the royal was one of more than 1,300 people that made claims against the papers. Most settled out of court because the financial liabilities were simply too high. Imtiaz Tayeb, CBS News, London.
In today's Consumer Watch, Netflix is raising prices again. If you have the standard plan without ads, your new monthly payment will be $17.99. If you have the one with ads, it will be $7.99, and the premium plan will increase to $24.99. The price hike comes after the streaming giant reported its largest jump in subscribers, 19 million new users. You can now book a flight on JetBlue using Venmo. The airline becomes the first one to accept the popular payment app. JetBlue says passengers can pay for their trips using their website. The feature will be available in the coming months on their app. And that's CBS News Miami's Quickcast. I'm Lauren Pastrana. Stay tuned for more news right here on CBS Miami.